264 BC, two powers controlled the Mediterranean world, and only one of them was going to survive. Rome, a republic forged in iron, disciplined, relentless, a war machine that had already swallowed most of the Italian peninsula and was hungry for more. On the other side, Carthage, built on the northern coast of Africa, in what is now Tunisia, a merchant empire of extraordinary wealth, master of the seas, controller of the most profitable trade routes. For decades, these two civilizations circled each other. Both knew that the other, both knew there was only one for the collision of the 6 years before Carthage's final defeat, a son was born into that family. They named him Hannibal. There is a story, and whether it is legend or truth, it tells you everything about this man. Hannibal was 9 years old when he watched his father prepare to sail for war in Spain. To rebuild what Rome had taken, the boy begged to go with him. His father refused. The boy would not stop. Finally, Hasdrubal took his son by the hand and led him to the altar of the gods. Swear, he said, and that 9-year-old boy, hand raised before the gods of Carthage, swore a sacred, unbreakable oath to be the eternal enemy of Rome. He kept that oath every single day of his life. By the age of 26, Hannibal commanded the entire Carthaginian army in Spain, not because of his father's name alone, because every commander before him had fallen in battle. And when the army looked up from the bodies of their dead generals and asked, "Who leads us now?" there was only one answer. Rome received word of this young general rising in the west. They were not alarmed. They should have been, because what Hannibal was already planning, no general in the history of warfare had ever attempted. He was going to bring the war directly to Rome, not by sea, not along the coast where Roman eyes were watching. He was going through the Alps. The year was 218 BC. Hannibal had an army, 38,000 infantry, 8,000 cavalry, and 37 war elephants. Rome was watching the sea, watching the coast of southern France, waiting for the Carthaginian fleet that would never come, because Hannibal was already moving overland through southern France toward the foot of the Alps. The Alps in winter were not a mountain range. They were a graveyard, narrow passes carved into rock faces thousands of feet above the valley floor, paths so thin that 2 men could not walk side by side. Hannibal crossed them anyway. 15 days through the mountain passes of the Alps in late autumn. By the time Hannibal descended into northern Italy, he had lost nearly 20,000 men, more than a third of his army, gone, not in battle, to a mountain. And yet, when the surviving soldiers looked at their commander, he was not broken. He was exactly where he wanted to be. Because Rome had positioned every defense along the coast and the southern approaches, northern Italy had nothing. No legions, no fortifications. Hannibal had not just crossed the Alps. He had appeared inside Rome's defenses from a direction they believed was impossible. The psychological damage was done before a single battle was fought. 216 BC, southern Italy. Rome assembled 86,000 soldiers, the largest army in its history. Hannibal had 50,000, outnumbered. On open ground, he chose that ground himself. He placed his weakest troops at the center deliberately and let Rome's legions push straight into them. The Romans pushed harder, more men forward, closed the gap, then the flanks closed. The cavalry sealed the rear. 86,000 Roman soldiers, completely surrounded. No room to fight, no room to run. 70,000 died that afternoon, with 50,000 men against 86,000. Hannibal had just destroyed the largest army Rome ever assembled. The road to the city was open. He never took it. His own general looked at him and said, "You know how to win a victory, Hannibal, but you do not know how to use one." To this day, nobody fully agrees on why he stopped. Some say his army was exhausted. Some say he had no siege weapons to breach Rome's walls. Some say he believed Rome's allies would abandon her after Cannae and come to his side. Most of them didn't, but there was a second problem, one he could not solve on a battlefield. Carthage. While Hannibal was fighting Rome in Italy, the political faction back home was blocking his supplies. No reinforcements, no fresh cavalry, no money. He fought in Italy for 15 years, almost entirely alone. 15 years of victories, 15 years of winning, and slowly running out of everything. Rome understood something that took them years to learn. They could not beat him in the field, so they stopped trying. Instead, a young Roman general named Scipio took the war to Carthage's home, Spain first, then North Africa itself. Carthage panicked and recalled Hannibal. 15 years in Italy, never defeated, called home. He boarded his ships and left, and he never came back. At 50 years old, Hannibal returned to Carthage and led her army one final time, the Battle of Zama, the Second Punic War. Scipio had studied Hannibal for years, every tactic, every move, every weapon, and on that flat African plain, he neutralized all of it. Carthage lost, and for the first and only time in his life, Hannibal Barca was defeated. He went into exile. Tyre, Ephesus, Bithynia, always moving. Rome's agents always behind him. In 183 BC, cornered at last, he reached for a ring he had carried for years. Poison inside it. His final words, "Let us relieve the Romans of their long anxiety, since they find it too long to wait for the death of an old man." And the greatest general Rome ever feared took his own life.